What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Grave Media. Josh here, checking in with you, and we are going to go over some witch movies. Which movies? Sorry, my cat was trying to bust in. You can't do that during the tape, man. What are you doing? Cat's name is Bones. You would think that 5 Stephen King books would be enough to keep a door closed. My jam's kind of, it's not catching super well. It's not flush, as they say. And yeah, my cat wanted to come in and ruin it. So if she does, we'll take a second to introduce. I mean, we were talking about witches, right? A witch's best friend is their cat. So cue Bones, my kitten. Try it again. All right, so I think we're clear. Yeah, we're gonna do just a quick little. I can't decide. Do we do the top 13 witch movies that I own? Or do we just go, hey, this is why so-and-so is the best movie? Also, this channel is pretty off the cuff. There's going to be some cuts that are not made. I'm not going to edit it. Dude, I got it. I'm going to edit myself. I should say that. We're just going to go. So, sometimes stuff just stays in there, and that's fine. I mean, we are adults, are we not? We're supposed to have fun while we're doing this. Guys, as that slashed across the screen there, it was in no particular order of importance except for the last one shown, which is the Blair Witch Project. I love Rosemary's Baby, the witch that just came out. There's the woman in 237 and The Shining. That's one of the best witches of all time, right? Lords of Salem is Rob Zombie's best movie. Spoiler, a review's coming for that. But for me, for my money, it's the Blair Witch Project, and it's not even close. Guys, I really want to take my time and really pay the Blair Witch Project the ultimate respect that I can and give it all the flowers and props that I can, because when I discovered it, when I seen this movie, I had heard about it. I've been watching, the America Online promos, dial-up internet, right? This movie, I mean, it was a phenomenon, but it just really, ruined my thinking patterns in my sleep for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two. From hearing about it, following it, getting excited for it, watching it, blowing my mind, and then the aftermath. This movie deserves its credit. So I was probably 16 when I first heard about the Blair Witch Project, and I was following different message boards, but even on, what was that, back in the AOL days, even on things like Sci-Fi, you couldn't get away from all those fake documentaries they didn't seem fake at the time, they were just spreading awareness. There was this picture everywhere, you know what I'm talking about? The 3 missing filmmakers from Burkittsville, Maryland that nobody could find. Super effective, super creepy, super scary. I mean, that was kind of my first true crime taste. I had read a bunch of stuff about serial killers, and I was into a lot of different books, but this was the first kind of, I think for me, true crime besides America's Most Wanted. So yeah, painting the scene. I want to say it's October of 1999. I want to go see this movie. I was kind of a rebellious teenager. My parents did not want me to go see it. What do you think happened? I went to the cinemas and I put my hard money down. It was a midnight showing on Thursday night. I should go back and look at when that came out. And I went with a couple of friends, and I mean, it was a packed house. Packed! And everybody was on bated breath waiting to see this movie. And we didn't know that it was going to be just kind of like VHS camcorder footage just rolling over and over. And it's kind of disorienting, and you're like, I don't know if I like this Heather chick. What's wrong with Mike? What's going on with Josh, right? Yeah, everybody in the theater, I mean, we were chewing our nails. We could not wait to watch this damn movie. The movie experience itself was incredible. back in the day, we would go to like Denny's or like all night diners, you know, and kind of discuss the things we're into, concerts we're going to, shows we're into, you know, movies we've watched. And this was no different. We go to a Denny's, we all order coffee, and we're just kind of staring at the table. Just like, man, I hope they find those people. What part of Maryland are they in? Like, do we need to like, are people emailing each other? Like, how is this not on every news station, you know? And yeah, it was crazy. And so for the months after that, they just kept the website that they had. I forgot to mention that it would update in real time, and it would tell you, hey, there's a new clue. Click on this multimedia Blair Witch thing, and you'll get a new clue about where they could be. There might be some breaking news. And everyone's like, what the hell is happening with the Blair Witch people? Like, we gotta see what's going on, right? And this happened for months, and then we heard rumors that there was a new movie coming out, and it ruined it all. We find out that, of course, this is just a film. They're alive. They're not allowed to talk about it, right? They have to go on kind of like a sabbatical hiatus, kind of like the Cannibal Holocaust story, where you're not allowed to talk about the film and the director's in jail for possibly murdering people in the Amazon, which never happened. But yeah, the Blair Witch Project, it was everywhere. And once I found out that they were, you know, alive and it was actually just a movie, like the legend just grew. It just grew and grew and grew. And all I wanted to do is watch it again. I couldn't wait for it to come out. And it seemed like if Book of Shadows is already coming out, we're going to get this. And then we got it on VHS, the Blair Witch, and it had some special features on a tape, which was kind of rare for like the year 99, 2000. And then do you remember that documentary that came out that they sold? I picked it up at a Hastings video, but oh my God, what's it called? Curse of the Blair Witch, right? I bought that tape. It was probably $25 for what I thought was the actual footage. Sucker, man. Sucker born every day. I was one of them. Curse of the Blair Witch. Absolutely loved the tape. The folklore around this movie, you guys, it was incredible. I mean, and then, yeah, it just blew my mind. I thought it was the coolest idea, coolest concept. Can you believe they're just making a fake movie out in the woods? You know, and they've got us all hooked. Like, how did they do that? It's just fascinating cinema. I love this movie. You know, I don't know what's happened since the Blair Witch came out, but like I feel like the generations that are watching it now are, you know, they're a little bit spoon-fed. They're a little bit spoiled with their horror movies because they've had all of these awesome templates and films to kind of gleam off of. And the Blair Witch was one of them. So, you know, down the line, you get things like the Paranormal Activity, and you get the whole found footage, you know, subgenre that just explodes in the early aughts and then kind of in the last 10 years. But it wouldn't be anything without the legacy of the Blair Witch. And I hear people trashing it. Like, man, if I guess you could be a Chad, you could be one of those guys that just, yeah, so it didn't really do it for me, you know. I mean, I wasn't even scared. I had adrenaline because I was worried about them. Like, no. Everybody, I mean, 200-300 people coming out of the theater, we were blown away. So don't you dare talk down on the damn Blair Witch. It's a must. You gotta have this movie. What are you talking about? Unless you just hate found footage, then maybe this isn't the channel for you. Just kidding. Come on back. I didn't mean to exclude you. If you don't like found footage, that's okay. There is some great titles I'm going to try to convince you on down the line, but that's okay. I'm just happy that you're here watching. I love the Blair Witch. I love movies about witches. It's such an important subgenre. Even back in like the Disney days, right? Where you got, I'm all over the place too. Snow White. You got the Sea Witch from The Mermaid. You got all kinds of like, what is that, Sword in the Stone, where there's like the witch off with the Merlin? Yeah, witches are super underrated. So the Blair Witch is important to me, guys. I love it. I love you. What else? Guys, thanks for bearing with me and let me rant about the Blair Witch just for a second. I don't do that very often. I really wanted to take a little bit of time and kind of go through the backstory of this flick. It means a lot to me. I remember exactly how I felt and the nerves that I had going into the movie. Like, I was going to discover something that had never been seen, and I was going to have the answer. Man, they marketed it right at me, like just straight up, and it just took over. It took over my mind for months. So, If you can, right down there, like, click, subscribe, share it with your friends if you can. I sure appreciate you guys being here. We're going to chat real soon. Cheers.
I can see you.
I'm real excited about this. Thank you for
I'm
the
very
opportunity.
glad.
This area's been haunted by that old woman. I don't know why you have to have every conversation on video.
Because we're making a documentary.
Not about us getting lost. We're making a documentary about a witch.
I know.
Lost, admit that first.
No, I know we're not lost.
Oh, please.
How do we know it was people?
Well, even if it wasn't, I'm not going to play with that either.
And it's all because of me that we're here now. Hungry and cold and hunted. Just want to apologize to Mike's mom and Josh's mom and my mom.